In this presentation, we will discuss closing the polling place. Any voter in line at 8 p.m. must be allowed to vote. You should send the greeter judge or another judge out to locate the last voter in line at 8 p.m. Hand them the last voter in line card. It's pink. Have the voter sign the card or station an election judge at the end of the line. If you are scheduled to work the close of polls, all tasks must be complete before leaving, unless otherwise instructed by your head judge. Every election judge folder has instructions on returning the items used throughout the day. Follow the instructions, please, on the label on the front of the folder to properly return them to the right spots. At the close of polls and after all voters have moved through the polling location, head judges should remove the following items from the blue box or clear tote. These items will have moved to the clear tote if you are hired by Washington County Elections as a judge. You'll remove the canvas bag, the check-in and EDR certificate white envelopes, the close of polls bag for greeter lists and precinct finders, the close of polls bag for used voter receipts. Finally, the head judge can locate the close of polls checklist in the head judge folder and assign tasks to the rest of the election judges so that things move smoothly. Before proceeding to any other closing duties, you'll want to make sure that all ballots have been counted through the tabulator. Please check the auxiliary compartment of the black ballot box. Check all voting booths for abandoned ballots and check the inside of the auto mark. At the end of the night, each poll pad judge should count and balance their individual iPad. The number of check-in certificates that you have with signatures should match the number of check-ins on your screen. The number of EDR forms you have in your basket should match the number EDR listed on the screen. Once you have balanced, your head judge will come around and collect all of your check-in and EDR certificates. Once all of the poll pads have balanced to their total number of check-ins and EDR certificates, you'll use the two white envelopes to collect them. First, start with the check-in certificates. Write the number of check-in certificates for each poll pad on the envelope label, and then total the column. Finally, place all of the short check-in certificates inside that envelope. Now grab the EDR envelope and write the number of EDR certificates on each line. Total that column and then place all the long EDR certificates inside. You may be assigned to help count voted ballots at the end of the night. You'll remove the voted ballots from the ballot box. Be sure to crouch down and make sure that all of the ballots have been removed from the box. You'll then count ballots. Oftentimes this is done in groups of 50. Then you'll record the count on the statistics worksheet. The total number of ballots that you found in the ballot box or the ballots tabulated should equal the total number of check-in certificates. Remember that every voter who votes that day signs a check-in certificate, both registered and election day registration voters. If those two numbers don't balance, your incident log should indicate why. If you are unsure of why you're not balancing, please call Washington County Elections for assistance. If you're working with a poll pad, once you have balanced and your head judge has come around to collect your certificates, you can begin to pack it up. You'll first start by taking apart all of your power cords. Before packing everything up, make sure that your labels match. It should match on your printer, your poll pad, as well as the green case. Follow the picture in the upper right-hand corner of the poll pad case to successfully pack it up. If you're working with the DS200, once you're balanced, you can locate the DS200 manual. It's inside the DS200 folder. You can unlock the access door, which will reveal the power and close of polls buttons. You'll press the close of poll button and then follow the instructions located inside the manual to close the polls, print your results tapes, modem, and shut down the machine finally. Another judge can follow the instructions in the AutoMark folder to turn off and pack up the AutoMark. Please ensure that the seal is removed from the AutoMark and should be stuck to the access code card. That is a brightly colored index card that's located inside the head judge folder.
The election judge responsible for closing down the DS200 will need to be sure to print results tapes for each gold envelope inside the head judge folder. Instructions on how to print additional results tapes can be found in the DS200 manual. If you have any issues, call Washington County. Once the machines have been turned off, remove any seals and memory cards from the DS200 and the AutoMark. You'll verify the seal numbers on the precinct certification form next, and ensure that the judges sign the bottom of the form. As soon as you are balanced, complete the statistics form. The head judge can find this in their folder, along with instructions on completing this form. Election judges should then sign the statistics form. After the form has been filled out, you can use the information on that form to complete the results tape. You'll write the seal numbers of the DS200 on all tapes and be sure that every election judge working at 8 p.m. signs every results tape. Once the tapes have been signed and any information from the statistics form has been transferred to the results tape, please insert the results tape into the envelopes. There should be one results tape for each envelope in the head judge folder. Seal the summary tape envelopes. A minimum of 4 election judges must sign the sealed envelope. If the duplicate ballot envelope or spoiled and defective ballot envelopes have been used, have a minimum of 4 election judges sign the attached seal. Then affix the signed label to the envelope to seal it closed. Return the sealed envelope in the canvas bag. If either of the envelopes are not used, return them to the ballot and demonstration judge folder. Before putting your ballots into transfer cases, you'll need to count the write-ins on the voted ballots. This is for general elections only. You need to check each ballot for write-ins. This includes any write-ins where the oval was not filled in. In the head judge folder, you will receive a declared write-ins list for the offices of federal, state, county, and judicial. You only need to count the names included on this declared write-ins list. All write-ins for the offices of municipal or school district should be counted. Write-in forms and tally worksheets are located in the head judge folder. In the head judge folder are transfer case identifiers and seals. Please use these labels only. The transfer case identifier is placed on the end cap of the transfer case. The label should include your precinct name, the date of the election, the total number of ballots in the transfer case, and the total number of boxes used. Instructions for placement are printed on the label. Next, you'll place the transfer case seals over any openings of the transfer case. The seal should include a minimum of 4 election judge signatures. Instructions for placement are also on these labels. Ballots that have not been voted on should be returned to your municipal clerk in their original boxes. Please do not put them in the transfer cases. If you are located in the cities of Oakdale, Woodbury, Forest Lake, Grant, Landfall, or Pine Springs, please return your unvoted ballots in their original boxes to Washington County. Inside your canvas bag, you'll return your memory cards and seals from the DS200 and AutoMark. You'll also return summary tape envelopes, the ballot tally sheets, statistics worksheet, and any write-in count sheets, even if there were no write-ins.
Election judges should return or clean up items as directed by the facility you're working in. These might include leftover food and beverages, tables, chairs, the flag that was displayed by the entrance of the polling location. The posted signs from the Secretary of State should be removed from the walls and easels and returned in the posters and signs plastic bag. All tape should be removed before placing the signs into the bag. If you have a sign board, please fold that up and return it to Washington County. Once all surfaces are cleared, please wipe them down with a disinfectant spray.
Office supplies such as pens, paper clips, binders, tape, calculators, markers should all be returned in the city supply boxes. Forest Lake, Grant, Landfall, Pine Springs, Oakdale, and Woodbury should return their city supply boxes to Washington County. All other municipalities will return any office supplies to their municipal clerk.
The head judge or municipal clerk will return supplies and equipment to Washington County on the night of the election. To help make this process easier for them, items should be placed in the blue box in the following order. All election judge plastic bags with folders and their unused supplies should go in first. Then the Secretary of State's sign should go in next. The close of polls used voter receipt plastic bag should go in third. Then the close of polls greeter and precinct finder plastic bag. Next, the check-in and EDR certificate white envelopes should be placed. And at the top of the box, the head judge folder should go in there. Please don't include any extension cords or surge protectors, 3-ring binders, or secrecy covers in with these precinct paperwork supplies.
Voting booths and ballot boxes are never returned to Washington County. They should be folded up and stacked, ready for pickup. When taking down voting booths, be sure to put the legs that were attached to the voting booth inside their cases. Forest Lake, Grant, Landfall, Pine Springs, Oakdale, and Woodbury should return any empty transfer cases to Washington County. All other municipalities will need to check with their municipal clerks regarding what to do with these items. Secrecy covers are never returned to Washington County and should be returned to the same location where you found them in the morning.
The cities of Forest Lake, Grant, Lakeland, Landfall, Oakdale, Pine Springs, and Woodbury should follow the below instructions when returning materials to Washington County, as well as what to leave at the polling location. Please return the following items to Washington County on election night with your head or co-head judge. You'll bring in your timesheets, the empty transfer cases, non-voted ballots in the boxes that they came in. You'll return the blue supply boxes with clipboards, extension cords, pens, 3-ring binders, as well as other supplies, the map, signboards, as well as the clear tote, which now includes the duty folders, the MiFi unit for the poll pads, the precinct finder and greeter list bags, the used voter receipts bag, as well as the certificate envelopes. You can leave the following items in the polling location where you found them on election morning or the night before when you set up. The auto mark should be packed up and left the ballot box with the COVID-19 cleaning supplies locked into the bottom. Please ensure that all liquids are tightly closed. Voting booths should be taken down and stacked. The A-frame signs should be brought in from outside or wherever they were disused throughout the building and placed in the same location as these other items. Secrecy covers should be stacked next to these items, as well as the flag should be disassembled and placed by these items as well.
Once all of these tasks have been completed, your head and possibly co-judge will return your materials to Washington County. Thank you very much for your service. We look forward to working with you on Election Day.